Good morning, everyone. I almost didn't post this video. I just wanted to come back and do a quick intro to it, just because it's a very difficult topic. It touches on some very serious things. I don't know much about this stuff personally. I haven't had a vast education on depression or psychology or any of that stuff, but I have seen the ramifications of what happens with this stuff firsthand. I wasn't going to post it on YouTube just because it is so hard and so serious, but not talking about difficult topics is what continues unintentional ignorance. Not that if someone is ignorant of something, it's a negative thing or it's bad or anything like that. It's just that they haven't learned what they could about it. And if we don't talk about these things, if these things aren't out in the open, then we can never learn to deal with these things. We can never learn to help people who struggle with different things, and we can never gain understanding. We can never learn to help others, or we can never learn how to ask for help ourselves. I cannot speak with any true authority about any of this stuff, but maybe this will just open the door a little bit for someone to be able to talk about it or learn about something that they otherwise wouldn't have, and who knows what the impact it'll have. This game is very well done. It has a lot to offer. It has a lot to make you think. And so I would like to open this episode by saying, if you're going to have a hard time with this, it talks about depression, anxiety, suicide, all of those kind of things. So if you're going to have trouble with that, click away. Don't watch this video. Good morning, everyone. Today we are playing Down by Amy Warden. It's a free game on itch, and I don't know much about it other than it is a short, somber, atmospheric experience about depression, anxiety, and the inability to forgive oneself. So, let's go for it. Depression is a very large problem. The awareness has been growing a lot, but if only it were that easy. Depression has been growing in awareness lately, which is good because it's a very real problem that needs a lot of attention. I'm not really sure what else I could personally say about depression that hasn't been already said. There are a lot of ways to, there are a lot of resources and information. You are broken. So it would seem that the papers are her thoughts. You are a whore. You are disgusting. This is a hard game. Nobody can love you now, not after what you did. The question isn't even, what did you do? That means people can no longer love you. It's just, when you have depression, that's actually not the big point of it. It's just the point of fixation that your depression latches on to. Are you just going to keep crying about it? Or are you going to give yourself what you deserve? You weren't there for her. You were too busy worrying about yourself. I think you can already see where this is going. She needed you. She killed herself. She died alone. You weren't there. So this is a game about more than just depression. It's a game about suicide and how it impacts those around you. Death is not romantic. Whether it's dying for your country, whether it's dying for another person, whether it's... regardless of whatever it is, you have deprived the world of the spark of that humanity that you have offered it. Well, this game was a lot more intense than I thought it'd be. Poor Daddy. He's been gone a long time and you still aren't over it? He would be so disappointed in you. You're getting what you deserve. You were a burden on all of your friends. That is not true. Nobody will ever love you. Also, not true. It's about time you stopped being a coward. Stop being a coward and fix this. This game did say it was about forgiving yourself, right? Because that's not self-forgiveness. You might not always be there for someone. I've seen firsthand the impact that suicide has on those around you, or on... I've seen firsthand the impact suicide has on those around the person who committed suicide, and it is not good. You know, it causes this severe depression in people. You know, like I said, she was not there for her friend, so therefore it's her fault that her friend committed suicide. It's not her fault. It's suicide is like this tunnel vision where you, even if you technically know that it's not the answer, you know, it's just you don't see that. You see a long-term solution to a short-term problem. Our time on this earth is very short. I mean, yeah, right? How old am I? I know I'm saying that, right? You know, but we're here for each other as much as we are here for ourselves, and we are here for ourselves as much as we are here for each other. You know, and you need to take time to take care of yourself, and you need to forgive yourself. And you know what? Life happens, and that might be good. You know, you might you might unintentionally start a family, and you know, what a blessing the family is. But likewise, something might happen in the negative, and that it is okay to be sad and to be hurt. We are human, we are faulty, and whatever we commit, we have to forgive others for what they do, simply because we also err in our own lives. And as we forgive those who err, we also need to forgive ourselves. Sometimes it's easier to hang on to the hurt and to the anger and to the angst because you might feel like, oh, if someone committed suicide and you don't forgive yourself, then you're forgetting them, or if you move on, you are forgetting them and leaving them behind. But that's not the case. They're always there. They made an impact on your life, and that's what's important. It doesn't even have to be suicide, it can be just simply passing away. Moving on does not mean forgetting. You can remember them, and you can remember them fondly. Pain is an indication that something is wrong. You break your finger, it hurts because your finger's not supposed to be broken. Your head hurts because you're sick. You hurt because someone has died. And that, that is something that is wrong. You have lost a loved one, there is an absence there. You are not a burden to your friends, otherwise they wouldn't be your friends. We all have different levels of friendship. You have your outer circle, which is just, your 8,000 friends on Facebook, and then you have your inner circle, which is like the 3 or 4 people you see regularly, and then maybe you even have that 1 or 2 special friends who you talk to about everything. Seek them out. Ask them what's going on. Or tell them what's going on with you. Life is give and take. You give to others, and you give of yourself to others, and you help others out. But then when you're hurting, when you need help, when you need guidance, when you need it, let them help you back. So you're not a burden. So if someone's trying to care about you, you are not a burden. If you have a burden that you need to share with someone, that is not a burden. Sharing your burden can be a gift with someone. It can be a way of letting them know that they are that close to you, that they care about you that much, that you are willing to let them in. And for your own sake, let someone in. I don't know, maybe some of you don't have as many friends as you'd like, but trying to struggle to get out there and make friends for the sake of making friends isn't really going to help, because you're too focused on the final piece of the puzzle, which is the friendship part. Find things that you enjoy doing, but it does take activity. It does take activeness on your part. The world is gonna stay out there. It's not gonna seek you out and try to do the best for you. But fighting depression is fighting depression. Some days it's just a victory to get up and get out of bed in the morning, and that, you go through the whole day and you can't wait to go to bed at night, just because then the day will be over. Tomorrow will come. One of my favorite phrases is, "This too shall pass." Everything is temporary. Pain you're feeling from a breakup, from a job loss, from a death, it might not be your fault. Remember that. And as for you were too busy worried about yourself, you do have to worry about yourself. You can't just give of yourself and just give and give and give and never expect any sort of return. See, the problem with depression is that you have all these thoughts that come naturally to you, such as, he's been gone a long time and you still aren't over it? Like, what's wrong with you? You need to get over it. He dumped you, or your dad left, or I think it was the dad in this, but yes, it hurts. Accept that. And these negative thoughts, they are just going to keep coming. So again, fighting depression is a fight. You have to be active in fighting this. And sometimes that fight means that you're going to have a very slow day. You're going to have a very lethargic day. You're not going to be able to do much. And maybe it's not fair that some people can just bounce through life happy about absolutely everything, and some struggle with absolutely anything they encounter. But regardless of whether or not it's fair, is the hand we're dealt. There's another game I played called Life, a Game of Chance, where it's just choices based on, you're given a random starting point, and you have to make your life choices based around that. The premise of the game is, you know, who knows where we come from, and where we come from, it actually significantly impacts us, but we have no control over it. And we're all in this big, wide world together, so we need to help each other out when we can. And this is so much the same thing. There are tons of resources for this kind of stuff out in the world. You know, there's hotlines, there's text messaging things, there's counseling. There's been these studies shown that you actually use up your energy making decisions throughout the day. So you have people like Steve Jobs, who wore the same thing every day in order to minimize their decision-making prowess, or to minimize their decision-making energy expenditure in different places, in unnecessary places. You know, and so by the end of the day, maybe you're exhausted from just fighting constantly. But you know what? That's fine. You've fought, and you're not going to win every battle, but you will win some, and the more you fight, the more you'll win. And sometimes the pain can last a long time, but that doesn't mean you're not making progress. Sometimes you take a step backwards, but that's what happens. Not everything is going to be successful from the beginning to the end. This game has been way more intense than I thought it would be. I'm going to probably age restrict this because it deals with some very heavy topics. I don't know if I'm any sort of voice of reason on this thing at all. I don't have a doctorate, I don't have anything, I just have my random thoughts that I'm spouting out. But I've seen the impact of suicide firsthand. You know, I've seen depression, and it's a hard topic. This is all very difficult stuff. You just, when it comes down to it, forgive yourself, because life is short. Hopefully the next episode will be a bit more uplifting. Good night, good luck.